Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? Oh my gosh, it is another glorious weekend of the most perfect weather. It's like in the 70s and it's breezy and blue. It's just heaven. I'm telling you, yesterday we had a big project in my house to just clear out a bedroom, just clear everything out that has been used for storage. And anytime I just went outside and popped in my sun chair and just relaxed, it was like it just drained me of all negativity and just filled me and fueled me with positivity and lightness and just clear, like clarity and energizing. And that's what brought me to this and this deck. Another thing, by cleaning out that room, I had some boxes and bins with some of my really special, beautiful decks that I had in there. So I'm going to be doing some fun flip throughs for you guys in the upcoming weeks because some of these are amazing. And I'm actually, after we touch on each of these, I just have a couple fun things that I want to mention that are really high vibe, and I'll flip through my Orion deck because I was so happy to find it, and it's mystical and magical. It's got all these animals and it's like electric and beautiful. I just love it. So space. Right now, just look around your home and just look in any particular corner or room. Does there seem to be an excess of something? Clutter, books that you could give away, donate, old clothes. Like I literally had winter boots and coats and all of this stuff still out in areas of my living room because I would begin projects and not finish it, and I thought I really need space. I think that's why the outdoor and beaches and wide open vistas really appeal to us, because it provides us with that deep breathing, clean, clear, purified air, right? I feel like summer is this season of less is more. If I see one pair of flip-flops by the front door and a towel, I'm happy. That's it. That's all I need, right? Long gone are the days of just clutter and hats and mittens and all of this stuff. So easy, breezy, clear space everywhere. Also, I wanted to start by thanking everybody for your great comments. I finally had a chance to go through the ones over the last couple weeks. Thank you, Gidget Joe and Lucy LaRue, Tracy, Stephen, Cheryl, Sue, Sunny Orelli, all of you guys. And Angelica, I literally just cracked up at I love your videos and your rampage about how everything is always working out, because it is. That was so sweet. And your other one saying how you know, my videos change your kind of like your brain atmosphere and make you feel good and get you back up on, you know, that positivity track. That like brought tears to my eyes. I actually posted in my IG story because it was so thoughtful. And when people take the time to relay these messages, it means the world to me. Thank you guys so, so much. Because like anybody else out there, when we're out there doing work, doing any kind of work, or my world revolves around this. I get excited about the decks, you know, what's coming through, and I get really excited. So when that translates and I get great feedback from you guys, it just makes my day. It was the most beautiful Sunday to be able to go through those. So thank you guys so, so much. And tickle my soul. So lovely. I just appreciate it more than I can say. And that brings me to simplicity. Like, first of all, what brings us joy, right? That's it. I have some of my favorite readers. I love Gregory Scott. He just cracks me up. And he has some wonderful, really heartfelt insights to life, to treatment of other people, how we see ourselves. I've always believed that we can have and accomplish anything we want as long as we keep it simple. First, it's the belief system. Do we think we're worthy and deserving of this? Yes. Do we think we have the fortitude and the magnetism to bring it to us? Yes. It's as simple as that. All the other stuff is just clouds. You know what I mean? Clouds to our sunshine. Other people's opinions on the issue. Overthinking things. You know, let's just be clear. What is one of the nicest feelings in the world? To me, it's when I feel the sun on my face. And how simple is that? All I have to do is go out and step in the sun. It's as simple as that. And then I'll ask universe, please bring me some idea or concept that I can work with that will infuse me with creativity and insights and get good messages and help my listeners and help myself and family. And it comes to me. I'm just there in this quiet, like melted, harmonious state of sun. And it is all, you know, the beauty and the magic that takes place in those small things, right? Like the lapping of waves. I love that. For some reason, the lapping of waves. What's your special thing that you hear or see or taste or touch that's really simple, but it's heaven? Also, that first sip of coffee. Ian makes the most divine coffee. I have that and I savor it. And every single time it elicits up, that's heavenly. Speaking of that, I'm going to have a quick sip. And then think about it. Think about that for a moment. What is that one simple thing that brings you just that heavenly vibe? 100%. So taste is coffee. Sight, I love huge vistas of water, mountains or fields, just something that brings this back, you know, beautiful lush fields of, like, you know, those Tuscan shots of all the gorgeous lavender, the lavender fields. That is utterly heaven to me too, that kind of visual. Touch, I love the feel of velvet. I've always loved velvet, like, ooh, I just love the lushness of that. I love feeling a cool breeze right on my face when I feel like I get more air in my lungs, that feeling, right? So what do you use your five senses for? To relate to these beautiful, simple moments that bring you joy and elevate your state of mind, right? It is crazy how much when we just shift our perspective to, it could be anything. We could be doing something, you know, laborious that we don't love, changing a tire, changing the oil in our car. Not that I do those things, but I have changed oil, but, you know, or added oil. I'm just doing certain things and how we can change it. Like, I'll listen to a funny podcast while I'm doing things that I don't particularly think are fun, and it changes the whole element of it, right? Anything that's comedic or great music. I'm watching Stranger Things right now, and I loved one of the concepts of that, how music can, in a way, in a theory, save our lives. Like, I'm not trying to give any good giveaways, but that type of thing. And it is the simplicity of that, right? A beautiful melody. I was listening to like Scottish Highlander music and bagpipes and Celtic music, and it's so transportative. The simple harmony and rhythm and like melodic flow of that, totally transported to forests and moors, and so lovely. So the fighting spirit, to me, this doesn't mean fighting with others or combative energy. The fighting spirit is, I can do this, I can achieve this, I can have this, I am worthy of this. A prime example for a lot of us in maybe our 40s, 50s, and 60s. Fatigue can feel like it's going to deprive us of certain things that we want to do. I know that if I want to get up and have physical activity, gym workout, walk, whatever it is, I need to do it before 3 p.m. Something settles in after that. If I've been dormant or just cerebral and doing things and studying or painting, my body kind of stiffens up and I'm like, no can do. So what I do is I give myself a pep talk. I go, you can do this. You have all the energy that you need. And you don't have to do as much as you think you have to, right? I'm like, just get to your favorite little park. And then I'm immediately inspired there. Whip on my podcast. I'm watching the happy dogs run around, golden retrievers just stoked out of their minds, kids laughing. And that natural earth energy and other people being excited give me more energy and fuel. So it's completely a state of mind that, you know, I can talk myself in or out of a good idea. And that's the fighting spirit. How do we talk ourselves into a good idea? How do we tell ourselves this is going to be way easier than you thought? You know, for me, it's the beginning steps. I know big cleaning, painting, jobs, whatever. We're finishing up this boat at Ian's work. And I remember sanding that first bit of stuff and looking at the boat and going, oh, this boat isn't even, you know, that many feet. We've got this. As soon as I started working, right, but when you first see it from the outset, you think, oh, so many hours for this, so many hours for that. And you start calculating, and then you're like, you know what? You are going to transform this scratchy old vessel that has, you know, been beaten by the sea into this beautiful, polished, gorgeous thing. And there's nothing as satisfying as a before and after of that huge, you know, swathes of glossy seats and trim. It's heavenly. And that's also this too. It's a very simplistic thing. So while I'm talking to you guys, I just want to show you some of the beautiful cards in the Orion's deck, which I love. A lot of it is almost just like a beautiful fluorescent glow. The Fool is one of my favorite cards right here. Oh, look at that. Just a happy kind of, I don't even know if I think it's just a baby turtle, right? Yeah, it's a baby turtle. Look at that. How heavenly is that? But it gets me in a really good mood. It has so many beautiful elements that I love about tarot that is like magic, the symbolism. I love bright yellows and oranges, love birds. I love that. And I remember this coming up. I think it was only last year that I recognized this was in existence. The Lovers is really beautiful too. Look at that. Beautiful seahorses intertwined. But yeah, getting back to fighting spirit, we have more fighting spirit when we are not fighting others, whether energetically or thinking about them or giving away our power, or, you know, I think we are the ones that need to intercede on our own sanity behalf. You know what I mean? Like, how ridiculous people really look on reality shows and others when they're fighting, because it is obvious that it's an ego type of thing. It's obvious that, you know, it's just people that don't think they're being seen or heard the correct way, where if people aren't accepting of that energy at that time, just getting louder is not going to help the issue, which I love. So we're going to use good judgment and things, right? How beautiful is that? And I feel like all we need to do is recenter, be like, is this a heart-based response, or am I moving into ego territory, which is not great. And this brings me to the Wheel of Fortune. What is our perspective? Wheel of Fortune is all about perspective for me. Are we up here looking down and having the grand assessment? This is honestly super gorgeous too, because at times all we have to do is key into our vibration. Lower vibrations, easy. Jealousy, resentment, fear, all the things that make us tighten and feel restricted. High vibration, love, acceptance. And what a great month to be doing this in, right? Pride Month, where everybody is equal. Everybody should live their lives exactly how they want. Everybody should express love to whom and wherever they want, right? That kind of thing. That's higher vibration. And with that, we feel freer. We feel like we take deeper breaths. We feel like we're more accepting of ourselves. And we also give out and receive unconditional love, not transactional love, not conditional love. Just that exceptional kind where you're like, dude, you do you, and I am going to love you regardless. You know, it's not that no conversations ever need to take place if there's any issues in relationships, but it's one of those things where we don't condemn somebody because they want to dress a certain way, or like, do you remember when this just struck him, Madonna started affecting that crazy kind of semi-British, sometimes Southern accent, and everybody just went bonkers on her. Everybody was like, she sounds totally ridiculous. But I feel like when anybody wants to, it does seem a little crazy, and sometimes things are affected. But if somebody wants to experiment with a new voice, a new hairstyle, a new expression of self, like, why can't we just go with the flow and be like, let them do them? You know, we don't have to be judge and jury on stuff. Look how cute these penguins are. You know, just let people do themselves. You know, and I know I'm sometimes guilty of that too. I'm like, what in the world are they doing? I know one thing that I do find myself judging on is like truly entitled activity, when people think they have to just push to the front, like I'm more special or I'm more important, and have that kind of attitude, because that's different than, you know, just trying to experiment with who you are. I love that. So that's the Orion's deck, which I really, really love. So you guys, today's basic message, you know, in a nutshell, is space, simplicity, and fighting spirit. And simplicity wins out over everything for me when I give myself one little directive, like, I'm just going to take a shower and then I'm going to do what comes next, that type of thing. I don't go, I have to do this, I have to post that, I'm going to do this. You know, take it easy. We're not, you know, we are not robots here. We want to go to the places and the areas that bring us joy and expansion, and where we feel good, and we can also learn more about ourselves, right? I always wanted to go on Survivor. Guys, comment down below when you first saw Survivor. I was like, I would win that in a minute. Like, I was convinced years ago when it first came out that I would win. Physically now, I don't know, man, but in the day I could go all day long physically and I would never get tired because I would work out and I had my taekwondo and everything. But now, you know, I'd have to work up to that. But I feel like it's such a unique like perspective on life, like going back to kind of the primal aspect, you know, fishing and catching your food, but living amongst people that are also under very trying circumstances and trying to help and aid them, you know, almost like you were like an elder of a tribe, like really looking out for people and all of that. I think it would be really fantastic, because I do know that 100%, and I've known this since I've been young, that emotions are 100% contagious. So when we're emanating love and acceptance and care, people kind of catch that vibe and they breathe deeper and they feel like they're in a safer environment, that type of thing. Same with fear. Fear can, that can spread like wildfire too. So, you know, we want to extinguish that and be able to help our, you know, fellow house members, work members, whatever it is, by any circumstances get a little testy, that we just, you know, keep calm and let them know that they're capable as well. Because we're teams. We really are teams of people. We're teams in a family. We're teams in work environment. We're teams in neighborhoods, right? So let's all help and kind of lend a hand to one another and have this, spread enthusiasm when we can. So that's today's message. Love and light.